Hey, real progressives, Kendall Sullivan. You know, I've been doing a lot as we come to the final days of this most embarrassing election in modern times. Um, I think I got a couple things figured out. I noticed no matter what negative news that's put in the media about Hillary Clinton, let me rephrase that. No matter what factual news come out in the media about Hillary Rodham Clinton, it seems to get ignored. It seems to get ignored. But now when we get negative news about Donald Trump, and rightfully so, some of the things that he's done is egregious. Let's make no mistake about it. So I want to be clear as I make my point here. But the point I'm trying to make is corruption. It seems as if corruption only applies if you're someone other than a Democrat. That's where it seems we're going with this whole thing. Uh, so based on what I've seen so far, is if you're, what's up, Josh? So basically, what I'm seeing so far is corruption only applies to Republicans and anyone else in the political arena. Corruption only applies to anyone else, because you see, when a Republican does something wrong, it's called corruption. And let me be clear, I'm not in no way, shape, or form trying to defend Republicans. But when a Republican does something wrong, it's called corruption. But when a Democrat does something wrong, it's blown off. Think about it. Trump did this. Oh my God, oh my God. And a lot of things are worse than oh my God. Don't get me wrong. But when Hillary Clinton does something, it's like, oh well, everybody does that. Well, Hillary Rodham Clinton is corrupt. Well, everyone's corrupt. So when a Democrat does something that's corrupt, everybody does it. That's the vote blues response. But when someone else does something wrong, oh, all hell breaks loose. And that's why Hillary Rodham Clinton is dangerous. That's what makes a Hillary Rodham Clinton dangerous, because her supporters would not check her on anything. Someone made a comment the other day about these emails, and they said, we don't know what's in these emails. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay. But I was like, well, do you at least care if there is something in the emails? Their response was, if the devil himself is in the emails. So I asked her, I said, if the devil himself is in the emails, would you care then? Because I don't think you will. I think your response would be, I think if the FBI found the devil himself in Hillary Rodham Clinton's email, your response would be, well, everyone has a devil in their emails. I'm not even trying to even be funny here, folks. I wish I could be. But at this point, it's sad and scary. Now we know why we're in trouble. I'm gonna try to keep it sensitive here. Now we know why we're in trouble. We're in trouble because they don't care. It's not so much that she's corrupt, because she is corrupt, but they don't give a damn that she's corrupt. And they don't care why. You see, she has the greens of the light. Any of you guys out there follow the NBA? Any of you out there follow basketball? Well, there's a term in basketball called when a player has the greenness of the light. That means when a coach will let him shoot at will, no matter what. He can shoot at will. And Hillary Rodham Clinton is going to be to push through anything she wants to at will, because she's going to have the vote blues behind her no matter what she does. And the Republican Party is going to be behind her too, because let's face it, a lot of her policies are going to be right wing. We've got to the point to where when something's came out about Hillary, it's reduced down to right-wing talking points. Really? Is it every time reduced to right-wing talking points? It's like no matter what we say, it's ridiculous. No matter what we say, they don't care. They don't care if she did have a devil themselves in the emails. They don't care. Exactly, brother. It's always Russia did it. No matter what, it's always Russia did it. Or they blame it on someone else. Clinton's part of the problem. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. A lot of days, I wish I didn't know half the things I know, to be honest with you. Sometimes I wish I could be a vote blue sycophant that only listen to CNN and wait for them to tell me what to do. But I can't. Now I know too much. And now it's my obligation to tell it to everyone else. And now it's your obligation to tell it to everyone else, because now you know better. Once we know better, we have to do better. That's what this is all about. When you know better, you do better. And they just can't fathom why we're not voting for Hillary Rodham Clinton. They just can't fathom why we won't fall for the same BS of voting for the lesser of the two evils. They can't fathom it because they don't vote principles. They don't vote values. They vote out of fear. They vote out of fear. And voting out of fear is the reason why we're where we are now. The reason why we are where we are now, because they vote out of fear. And when you vote out of fear, the things that you care about gets pushed further and further to the background when you vote out of fear. When you vote out of fear, they continuously put up the same BS candidates in your face year after year, year after year, to make you just forget about the things that you really care about. Right now, there's not a Hillary supporter out there that's probably telling you what they really care about. Their response is, well, we got to stop Trump. And my question is, and I always ask, and I'm still waiting on getting a response, but I'm yet to get a response. But what I'm still having to ask is, at what point do you stop voting out of fear? I ask them time and time again, okay, you're voting for Hillary this time to stop Trump. But when the establishment put another Trump in front of you, then what are you going to do? You're going to vote to stop Trump again? That's where we at. That's how we got here. And we're not going to change it. They don't understand playing chess. Well, Jill can't win. Well, Jill maybe can win if everyone votes for her. But even if she doesn't win, we get her to 5%. The Green Party gets funding from the federal government. So that's what this is all about. It's not just about one election cycle. They can't get that through their head. You see, after this election cycle, they're going back to sleep. Well, they're not even awake. But after this election cycle, they're gonna move back from the scene and give Hillary Rodham Clinton the greenness of the light. Hillary Rodham Clinton is gonna be able to push through right-wing politics. Listen, in the 90s, President Bill Clinton, he wanted to prove how tough he can be on crime. And there's nothing wrong with being tough on crime, but there is something wrong with selling out your base to conservative voters. There is something wrong with that. They put more people in jail than anyone else in the nation. Listen here. They put more people in jail than anyone else in the nation. And we not safer because of it. The mandatory minimums are an embarrassment, to say the least. You have people doing decades in prison for a non-violent offense when those who nearly crashed our economy haven't done a day in jail, nor have they even been charged. And Hillary Rodham Clinton is on record saying she wants to try to fix the death penalty. Well, there are a lot of people out there that have family members on death row for crimes that they did not commit, and they don't have time for you to try to fix something. It can't be fixed when you have overzealous prosecutors that only care about their resume. You see, prosecutors also play on our intelligence. They also play on our intelligence, and they play on our emotions. Someone can be killed on the street. The first person they scoop up, guess who's going to get charged with the crime? Whether they did it or not. They sell the public because they know that the public wants someone to pay for the crime. They know that the public is still hurt and the public is still grieving. How many people do you think have been locked away off bullshit like that? Excuse my French. How many people do you think? How many prosecutors has been arrested for pulling off bullshit like that? Not nearly enough. Not nearly enough to stop them from doing what we're doing. And this crime bill, part of the problem. Hillary Rodham Clinton is part of the problem, and her just unwillingness to back away and say the death penalty is a mistake. It doesn't make us safer. It costs us millions of lives. Until we get there, that's where we at. They don't give a damn though. They don't give a damn. They only care about beefing up their resume, showing what they can do. And these vote blues, Hillary Rodham Clinton parrots out here, all they care about is having a woman president. I want a woman president too. That's why I'm voting for Jill Stein. But do I want a woman president at any cost? I don't. Not at any cost. Not at any cost. I'm not going to vote for someone who's against my values just because of their gender. Because if I start doing that, then one should question whether I'm being a sexist or not. Like, really. I understand the need of one woman president. But it just so happened I want the first woman president to be someone who has character. I want to be able to tell my daughter, that was the first woman president. Now, whenever I have kids, let's put that out there. I want to be able to tell them that was the first woman president. I don't want to tell them that the first woman president was someone who couldn't even stay out of trouble with the law. That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. I want to have to tell them that the first woman president was someone that You know what, Victor? You're right. They should free Snowden. Maybe if Snowden changed his last name to Clinton, then maybe they'll let him go. You know, because a lot of people out here say they don't. Yeah, I don't trust Trump, the nuclear codes. You know what? Neither do I. But you know what? I also don't trust. I also don't trust someone who can't even keep up with classified information. I definitely don't want her with the nuclear codes. I definitely want her with them. And then there are a lot of people out here who say, "Oh, I can't wait this election over." When you call Hillary Clinton out on her BS, they say, "Oh, I can't wait this election's over." Yeah, if you think that means we're gonna back up off of her and stop calling her out on her bullshit, I don't know what else to tell you, because that is not gonna happen. We're gonna stay on her. We're gonna stay on her. We're going to stay on her. If she becomes president of the United States, we're going to stay on her. And we're going to do our best to build up a real progressive movement and defeat her in 2020. We don't need a president that only cares about the 1%. We don't need a woman president that struggles to tell the truth. We don't need a president that is so tied to Wall Street that she couldn't even release her Wall Street transcripts. And you know what? Thanks to WikiLeaks, we see why. Another thing I want to talk to you guys about. I've been seeing the talking heads from the corporate media lately say things like the FBI is trying to influence an election. Now, what do they mean when they say the talking heads are trying to influence an election? Do they by chance mean that the FBI is trying to tell the truth and let us know what really happened, and that mean that people may not want to vote for it? That's what it sounds like to me. Does it mean by chance that they're going to tell too much truth about her, and that's going to make people not want to vote for her? Does that influence an election? I mean, think about it. So if it by any means, if that's influencing an election, influence the I'm trying to keep it cool here. If by any means that means influence the election, then by all means, influence the election. I'm influence the election. I'm trying to keep it a little censored here, but of course, Kami is trying to save his own. Hey, Janae. Yeah, influence the election. If telling the truth means you could possibly influence the election, then please influence it. Because we don't want a corrupt warmonger who's never seen a war that she didn't like being a leader of the free world. The woman is hawkish. You can tell these talking heads that yeah, I try, Danielle, I try. You can tell these talking heads whatever you want to tell them about Hillary Clinton, they do not care. I can be like, Hillary Clinton voted for the Iraq war, and she conspired to do all these things in Libya and Honduras, and then their response is, "You want Trump to win?" I'm like, all right, bruh, really? You can tell her that Hillary Rodham Clinton got some emails where she's plotting to try to take us to war. You know what the vote blues response could be? You want Trump to win? And here you and I again like, bruh, really? That's what we're dealing with. They don't think for themselves when it comes to anything. I think it's embarrassing, to say the least, that they don't ever think for themselves. I've never seen anything like it, folks. Well, unfortunately, I have. The people that once supported Bernie that's running around the country talking about the 927 and how they're gonna write him in. You know, the vote blues and them two, they could be they should get along well together, because both of them are living in like a fantasy world that doesn't make sense, and both of them are down for what you call the identity politics, and both of them are down for I don't know. They fight with reality. They're at war with reality. At war with it. And they don't believe that America should be challenged. That's my whole beef with the Hillary supporters. They don't believe in a system that should be challenged. Hillary Rodham Clinton is not running a single policy that challenges the system. A single policy. Next time, ask them what about Hillary Rodham Clinton do they support. Ask them what policy they support. You're going to get more things like most experience, know her way around Washington, or something BS like that. Listen, maybe I'm wrong when I say this, but The way they don't ever want to challenge the system, it makes me think that if they was around doing civil rights and slavery, we'll still be slaves, and the Civil Rights Act wouldn't even exist. It would be a pipe dream. And then as someone told me before they deleted me and blocked me, trust me, guys, they said, Kendall, I was out there fighting civil rights. I was out there. And I'm thinking, you know what? I believe you. I believe you was out there. You're a good person. You was out there. But while you was out there fighting for civil rights, your girl, Hillary Rodham Clinton, was actually working for Goldwater at that point in time. A politician who opposed the Civil Rights Bill. She only got behind civil rights when it became convenient for her. So don't give me that nonsense. You know, don't give me that nonsense. Do we want a revolution? Do we want real change in this country? Or do we want a woman president? Or do we just want a woman president? I want a woman president. But the values have to match mine, so I'm not gonna vote for them. I mean, what sense does that make for me to vote for someone just based on their gender? It's stupid for. Now, I will say this. Let me say this out here. Let me say this because I need to say this. It needs to be said. Real progressives oppose Hillary Rodham Clinton because of her badass policies. Real progressives oppose Hillary Rodham Clinton because she's not in line with our values. Right? Now, there's a few I've heard out here that say they just not gonna vote for a woman. That's egregious. For you just if you're one of the ones that don't want to vote for someone just because they're a woman, just because they're a female, that I have a problem with, because there's nothing progressive about that. That I have a legitimate problem with. I mean, who wants to tell that their future daughters or their daughters that, you know, you could never be president of the United States of America? That is not who we are. That is not the type of politics I'm about. That's not the type of America I want to see. That's not the type of vision I want to see. Never disqualify someone because of their gender. Never. Ever. So if you oppose Hillary Rodham Clinton, and your only reason of opposing Hillary Rodham Clinton is because she's a woman, then I really want you to do some research and find reasons why you oppose her. I don't want you to oppose her just because I say you should oppose her. I don't want you to oppose her just because we say so. You need to be to think for yourselves. That's the difference between us and the vote blues. We think for ourselves. We all here have the same values, but we all individually, collectively think for ourselves and come to our own conclusion when it comes to things. That's what this is all about here. There was a time when women couldn't vote. That was egregious. But if we could have stepped up against any injustice, we have to always maintain our consistency. Maintain our consistency. Just about a month ago, when Steve even pointed out, hey, Hillary Rodham Clinton appears sick. But let's not be out here celebrating her possibly being sick. That's not who we are. We have to stay consistent, maintain our credibility, stick to who we are, and that's how we move forward. That's how we win. We are hope because we stick together. We believe in each other. We help one another. And we never, ever hate anyone, no matter who they are. Ever. That's what we do. What we do is we stick together and we do what they said we couldn't do. And we stand up, we lock arms. As we come close to this election, we keep pushing because the real fun is about to start. The real games is about to start. Now, you're going to be needed more than ever. After election, things are going to get quiet. After election, things are going to get dull. It's not going to be as interesting. It's not going to be any big campaign rallies anymore. It's not going to be there, but those issues that aren't being attended to are still going to be there. Those issues that are being ignored are still going to be there. Those issues that they're trying to silence us over are still going to be there. If we want those issues to get any attention, we have to push forward. We can't just do it during a presidential election, or we will always lose. And before I go out, I don't want to do a stream without saying this: economics is king. Economics is king. Everything that we're fighting for, every program that we're fighting for, everything that we want to see come into existence revolves around money. And if we continue to let them think that, if we continue to let them tell us that we're broke and we owe China trillions of dollars, we're going to lose. Economics is king. Economics is what we got to learn, at least the basics. You got to learn it. Taxes don't fund spending. We don't owe China. There is no national debt. The numbers are just keystrokes on a computer that can be wiped away just like that. Think about that. The Federal Reserve only credits accounts. That's what it does. When it taxes you, it subtracts account. The Federal Reserve doesn't gain money when it taxes you, and it doesn't lose money when it actually credits accounts. At a football game, when they give one team 7 points, the other team doesn't lose points. The stadium doesn't lose points. Where did the points come from? They came from nowhere. That's where they came from. If the team scores too many points, do we think that the stadium is going to run out of points to give the other team? No, that would be ridiculous, wouldn't it? That's how politicians in Washington sound. They sound like that if they fund this program here and there, they're going to run out of points. They're going to run out of freaking keystrokes on a computer is all it is. Keystrokes on the computer. That's what it is. MMT. Pays. That's how we fund our revolution. If we don't take it serious how we fund the revolution, we might as well go home. But I know that we're going to take it serious because I know that together we are people capable of doing big things. I'm going to leave it there, guys. Have a nice day. Peace, and I'm out.